umami is not Japanese, right?
As we've learned.
It was isolated as a compound and, made famous at the time by a Japanese doctor.
Hey guys, welcome to Dish with Dudash. I'm Michelle Dudash. Today we have a really special guest that I'm so thrilled to have. Andrew Zimmern, chef, cookbook author, and restaurateur. Adding to the resume, yeah. We're at the World Umami Forum. So we are learning everything you could possibly learn about umami.
Well, it's the elusive fifth taste. It's a misconception that there's only four tastes: sour, salty, bitter, and sweet. 110 years ago, simultaneously in Japan and also in Western Europe, scientists were analyzing food. Nutrition was starting to become a hot science. And people were able to isolate flavors in certain vegetables that didn't ascribe to those other four tastes. Dr. Ikeda was able to isolate flavors in asparagus, tomatoes, cheese, that he dubbed the fifth taste, umami. And it turned out that those umami foods actually were more craveable, increased salivation in the mouth, which aids digestion, but also gives you a feeling of fullness. And so 110 years later, we're now using the health and wellness aspects of the chemical compound, MSG, which is glutamic acid, that exists in nature, in all foods, in us, everywhere.
Right.
Nature made it with a sodium molecule. Umami is present in foods all over the world. And if you're wondering why, when you go to Scandinavia, the cured fish tastes so fantastic, if you wonder why the whole world, and I mean the whole world, loves Italian food and can't get enough of spaghetti with tomato sauce and Parmesan cheese, it's because tomato sauce and Parmesan cheese have some of the highest levels of glutamic acid of any foods we know. So you're actually being induced to not only enjoy it while you're eating it, but to crave it.
And I add those ingredients to my food because I know it has the umami taste.
That's right. I'm excited about the health benefits of MSG as well. I mean, one of the things that happened when I started to learn a lot about it 6-9 months ago was replacing bowls of salt in my kitchen with bowls that are 2-to-1 salt to MSG, so that automatically we're reducing salt intake in our household by 1/3.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's like the easiest thing in the whole world.
Yes. If you look at the packaged foods, if you see MSG, as a chef, I've always seen it as a non-issue, because the body, it doesn't even recognize the difference. And that was a huge take on MSG versus glutamic acid, which is naturally occurring in the body. The body doesn't recognize the difference. It's not something you have to worry about. Basically, I think that's the big take home that people should know, right?
Well, I mean, the science on it has been dispelled. I mean, there was a lot of cultural and culinary ethnocentrism, Chinese restaurant syndrome. We discussed a lot of that yesterday, where people's natural bias, MSG gives me headaches, I only get that in Chinese restaurants. That's actually been disproved by science, and as we've learned, MSG is the most studied edible compound of the last 30 years. And universally, and this is not sponsored science, this is, teaching universities around the world have, in 2010, basically said this stuff is essentially inert. What's fascinating to me is that in America, it's vilified. In the rest of the world, it's adored everywhere, whether it comes in bouillon cubes, in Maggi seasoning, in Ajinomoto's product, in the big Chinese brands. The fact of the matter is only here in America have we hung on to this false notion that in some way this is bad for you. There's a scientific study that we just learned about through a presentation this morning from Dr. Kimura that showed that people will eat 10% less when their food is seasoned with MSG, because the SATIETY is taken care of, right?
I can totally see that.
Very extensive. Now 10%, it's a nice number.
Well, this has been fascinating. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Sure, my
And
pleasure.
I know you're a busy guy. You have an event to MC out there, so I
gotta
think
get back
we
to
should
that.
let you.
It's fun.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Make sure
Good
you.
to see you.
Good to see you too. This is Dish with Dudash. I'm Michelle Dudash. Check out dishwithdudash.com for more info, and we'll see you next time. Bye.